Three Jokers has been a highly anticipated comic series that we have been waiting for what feels like forever to get our hands on. With art by Jason Fabok and story by Geoff Johns, however, it seems like the series overall has been worth the wait. Johns' attention to detail when it comes to characters and their stories, and Fabok's stunning, crisp, and lively lines bring these characters and moments to life across the pages and draw you in. Today we're going to revisit this highly anticipated series, which has just ended close to Halloween this October. I actually wrote all this on the day that the final issue was released. Ugh, so much emotion. Join me as we count down the top 10 Three Jokers' biggest moments and revisit this heavily hyped limited series. Welcome back, Nerd Squad. I'm your host Amanda McKnight, but as part of our Halloween celebration, you may also refer to me today as the Goblin Queen herself, Madeline Pryor. How fitting that I should be dressed as a spooky lady to recount some of the spooky moments from this series. And for those of you who are wondering, but I'm a Marvel character doing a DC video? Look, DC, my biggest costume that I have for that is Poison Ivy, and we're with a green screen here, friends, so that's not gonna happen. Before we start, big spoiler warning to anyone who has yet to read the third and final issue or any of this series, as we'll be getting into all of it here. But I'll be doing the moments in stages, so if you haven't read book 2 or book 3 yet, don't worry, I'll be telling you when it's time to bail. You have been and will continue to be warned. Alright, now, let's get counting. Number 10. Shark Attack! Starting with book 1 for this point, I really loved this moment, especially just in terms of the art of this menacing creature staring down our caped crusaders. In book 1 we discovered that the Jokers not only has Joker fish still, but now also has a Joker shark. I also just love how he's wearing lipstick. Who was tasked with putting the lipstick on that shark? I definitely would not want to be. I can tell you that much. Nor would I want to face such a frightening, crazed foe with rows of razor-sharp teeth. That's next level. Number 9. GAGGY'S return. After we were introduced to that sweet Joker shark in book 1, we also saw that amazing return of GAGGY, who we learned was mostly the Clownish's sidekick when it came to the Jokers, which helped to explain why he sort of just faded into the background originally. Although from previous continuity we also know Harley Quinn's presence apparently had a lot to do with GAGGY's disappearance as well. GAGGY makes his triumphant return in that first book, which many fans were happy to see, but unfortunately his grand return was short-lived. Red Hood made quick work of GAGGY with an assist from the Joker shark himself. I should say themself, I don't know the gender of that shark. Red Hood made quick work with GAGGY with an assist from the Joker shark itself. When the Hood shot through the aquarium glass and freed it into the room, the shark swallowed up GAGGY in one bite. I don't think he'll be coming back from that one for a while, at least. Number 8. Jason kills the Joker. This was a huge moment at the end of book 1, and a moment for many I think that left us reeling, especially when combined with the aftermath of Batgirl confronting Jason. Jason took it upon himself to do what he knew Bruce wouldn't. He killed his Joker, the Clownish, hoping that it was his Joker, the one responsible for killing him originally. Jason shot him in the head, ending him while the Clownish was left in Barbara and his care. Despite the fact that Barbara pleaded with him not to do it, she even attempted to stop him with a batarang. Or so she claimed. One of the best moments is actually when Jason calls her on the fact that she probably missed on purpose, considering her accuracy is known for being so great. And some of the best panels are the ones where Jason flashes back to when he was beaten by the Joker that first time and made who he is now today by the Joker. Also, warning, upcoming spoilers for book 2. Number 7. Jason relives his trauma. While Jason may have gotten some of the most gratifying revenge on his tormentor or tormentors in a way, he also seems to have been the one to be the most affected by confronting this trauma. Shocking, really, considering that Babs and Bruce have both suffered a lot of trauma at the hands of these Jokers. In book 2, while striking out on his own and splitting off from the Bat Trio, Red Hood ends up confronting the Jokers during their attempt to create a new one. They beat him bloody, destroy his mask, make him relive his past trauma by beating him and thoroughly enjoying it, sharing that they thought originally that Jason would make the perfect new Joker, as someone who already seems to be heading in that direction. They leave him naked and broken for Batgirl and Batman to find. Number 6. The kiss. I didn't want this kiss to be as big as it was. In fact, I didn't really want this kiss to happen at all, but hey, we got it. And it was actually such a big moment, I felt like it distracted somewhat from the main story's development in book 2, which is why I actually highly recommend going back and rereading through book 2 again before you hop on to book 3 if you haven't already. This kiss was a random one that we got between Barbara Gordon and Jason Todd following Jason's getting beaten up by the two Jokers. Following Jason getting beat up by two of the Jokers. After he comes to, he and Barbara have a conversation about their trauma, and Jason expresses that that he's always felt no one has ever been there for him. Barbara reminds him that she and everyone wishes they could have been there, but that they, thought he was dead. She reaches out to comfort Jason, holding onto his hand, and then they kiss. Some liked this, some felt it came out of nowhere. I definitely think Jason was misreading Barbara's sentiment. But whatever you think, this moment was definitely show-stopping. Also, warning, upcoming spoilers now for book 3. Number 5. Batman kills the Joker? At least we think he did. Batman smashes the oldest Joker, the criminal, through a wall. And this Joker is old. He seems to be getting older and older with each panel he appears in. By book 3, he looks like Grandpa Joker to me, which makes sense given that this is the book where we finally have all the pieces and are able to sort of lock in really what each Joker represents and what they were responsible for as an individual. The criminal as such is believed to be the Joker who made the other two, or so it seems. This Joker is the one most obsessed with the bigger picture, with everything having some great purpose and meaning, and we do not see him get up after Batman smashes him through a brick wall as the Monarch Theater crumbles around them, implying that Batman accidentally killed him. Or maybe he just died of old age. If he's the true original Joker, he'd likely be at least 98 years of age, without any anti-aging or alternate Earth retcons happening in the comics like Bruce has frequently had happen for him. Number 4. More than 3. At the beginning of book 3, one of the startling and instantly sobering moments is when we realize there have been countless Jokers, or at least countless attempts to make new Jokers. Who are these other Jokers? Did they succeed in committing any crimes? Or were they just marked dead on arrival? We get a whole page of alternate Jokers with names and pictures, which just makes you even more curious about the whole creating a Joker process and how many times it's truly been attempted. Were there ever more than 3 Jokers at once? Number 3. Jason's love letter. Despite the fact that Barbara pretty much instantly dismissed the kiss she and Jason Todd shared as a moment, Jason is not willing to let it go. He wants to change, but feels in order to do so that he needs to be with Barbara. He wants to be with her and give the two of them together a try. Jason thinks they could be great together. He confesses this to Barbara near the end of book 3, but she dismisses him again. So, what does he do? Move on? Nope, he writes it all out for her one more time in a letter. The letter is heartfelt and sweet, but I gotta say, I feel bad for the guy because I really don't think Jason is Bab's type. He leaves the letter taped to her door, and even more tragically, the note falls off the door and then is swept away by the apartment building cleaners. Just like I kinda wish that kiss could have been swept away, but it happened. Number 2. Joker's big plot. One of the best reveals we got in this entire story was how the whole thing was Joker's plan the entire time. And this time, I mean, it was the plan of the Joker we had left at the end, the comedian. The comedian claimed he did all of this to basically heal Batman of his greatest wound. Yep, his whole evil plot was to make Batman feel better by allowing him to deal with the ghost that has always haunted him, the boogeyman that he's always seen as a kid, Joe Chill. One of the things that made less sense here was that Joe Chill went from being a heartless murderer of 40 people when we saw him last with Batman in the Mobius chair, and now this version of Joe Chill had always felt guilty about the murder of the Waynes and felt awful about what he'd done, especially when he learned that the Waynes, while wealthy, had actually worked hard to make the city a better place for less fortunate people like himself. Still, that continuity blip aside, I really loved that Bruce was able to heal from this wound and that it was all part of Joker's great plan. Heal Batman so that he could be the only pain in his side, the only one who was able to twist that knife in Bruce's heart. Number 1. The Joker's true origins. In getting our Joker count reduced down to one lone comedian Joker, this also meant we finally got the true backstory for the Joker solidified. And it's the one you likely are already familiar with from The Killing Joke. Both Geoff Johns and Jason Fabok have stated in interviews about 3 Jokers that the book would be heavily inspired by that story, and this point definitely allows us to see that connection and inspiration. The Joker's backstory becomes that of the one we were introduced to in The Killing Joke, should this part of 3 Jokers be accepted as canon. But the best part of this reveal is that it doesn't really matter who the Joker is. It matters for the story, for the characters, and for allowing us to understand more the relationship between Batman and the Joker, but it doesn't actually matter in terms of changing what the Joker represents. We learn that both Batman and the Joker know the true origins of one another, but what really matters is what they represent to one another at the end of the day. What really matters is who they are now. to each other. And that makes for a satisfying ending to what I would describe as a well-written, well-drawn, and well-made overall story, whether or not it ends up being a canon story. Although hopefully at least some of it does. That would be great. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. What were some of your favorite and most shocking Three Jokers moments? Did you read the limited series? I hope you did, cause tons of spoilers just happened for you if you didn't. And if you did so, what were your thoughts on the series? Which of the Three Jokers was your favorite? Which character arc did you feel the most connected to? Let us know in the comments below. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, aka the Goblin Queen. Till next time, you stay nerdy, YouTube.